How's it flying, guys? Lance Corporal Hawk 30 here, and finally the next Jaiden Animations video I can react to. This is the second one on the channel now, and we have a guest, Rosie. Come here, Pupper. Pupper, come, please. Oh. Nom, 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 nom. Want to go, girl? Want to go, girl? Want to go, girl? Want to go, girl? Yeah. Come on, come on. Whoa. We took a 5-mile walk today, me and Rosie did. Yes, we did. And I was tired by the end of it. Look, good girl. Look, good girl. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. So you get to watch Jaiden with me today on the bed. Yay! High five. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, she's a good girl. Isn't she a good girl, guys? Yeah, she's a good girl. Yes, she is. But, as stated, this is a Jaiden reaction, not a Pupper video. I actually uploaded a short featuring Rosie earlier, describing the walk. But Rosie's going to be part of this. So, title of the video is, I found out I have ADHD. Just now? I'm not asking that to be sarcastic or anything, like, legitimately, you're just finding out about this? This, granted, I don't know her medical history outside of some of the videos she's posted about, but I remember I got told I had it when I was very young. So, yes? Good girl. So, I grew up basically knowing what I'd been told by doctors that I had it, and got put on meds. So, yeah, if you guys rewind back to my older videos, back in 2018 when I really started doing reaction videos, 2018 up until mid-2020, you would notice that there would be quite a few videos where I would wear glasses. It's because I was so nearsighted because of the side effects of one of the medications I took called Concerta, which is supposed to do the same function as... That's my pillow, Rosie. See? I'm paying attention more to the dog than I am the video. But anyways. Yeah, Concerta is supposed to have similar results to Ritalin and Adderall. It's one of those things that's supposed to make kids pay attention. So, but one of the side effects was it could damage vision, which made a whole lot of sense to where I was so nearsighted growing up. No joke, like, facing this way, I could see clearly, like crystal clear, up to here. And after that, everything got blurry. I could see shapes, I could see colors. I could not read past this point. And it would not have been wise to have me drive. That's all I'll say. I could see, like, lights, and if I had to walk somewhere, I could. But it was better just to wear the glasses. And I got LASIK mid-2020. And, yeah, that was just something that I'm glad I did. And now I don't have to wear glasses. Part of it, I was tired of having to reach for glasses the first thing every time I woke up. But anyways, ADHD was the reason why I was prescribed Concerta, and me going on that tangent probably further proves. I've also got Asperger's, so I got a touch of autism a little bit. Yeah, I'm a bundle of weaponized autism, I am. But I've wasted enough of your guys' time. You're here to watch a reaction, not to hear me ramble about my life story, which... we'd be here another year if I were to go over all that, but that was just my connections to the topic at hand. See, stop it. I'm trying to be funny, guys. Please laugh, somebody. All right, I found out I have ADHD by Jaiden Animation. Link to the original video will be in the description. Please ensure that you guys have seen it before you watch my reaction to it. With that out of the way, let us go ahead and go.
Do you ever think to yourself, man, why is it so hard for me to just do the things I need to do and focus and remember things and manage my time and be organized and remember things and not get sidetracked? Ha! Yeah, me neither. When I was a kid, I was pretty much the picture-perfect depiction of...
I heard like the first 3 seconds before the video started to make sure the volume was right, and the first thing I thought, you ever think, like, no, I don't think, Jaden, thanks for asking, that would require the use of my brain cells, and they're currently on vacation, so I'm gonna have to wait till they get back before I can do that task. It was a horrible joke, but it's what I thought of.
A good student. I was well organized, always turned in my work on time, got good grades.
I
even did my homework on Fridays instead of procrastinating until Sunday night. Sure, I didn't like studying and found it hard to focus during it, but who didn't? Saying all those
procrastination is my mortal enemy. Like it... Yeah, I fall into the procrastination bad. Like, really bad. So, some of that's evidenced by how late some of the videos I've reacted to were uploaded. So, like, my reactions to said videos that I reacted to.
Qualities put together, that doesn't sound like the brain of someone with any kind of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, does it? I was well behaved, didn't feel like I struggled much in school, and didn't cause any trouble. That is... up until I moved out of my parents' house for the first time to go to college. Gradually, I started slipping. I began skipping classes a bit when I just didn't feel like going, would wait until the last moment to start classwork, and lost a lot of motivation because I wasn't interested in any of my schoolwork. But overall, even though it was pretty out of character for me, I chalked it all up to the fact I was simply over going to school. At the same time, my YouTube was really kicking off, and all I wanted to do was that. Of course I wasn't gonna be as good of a student when the silly YouTube videos were doing numbers. I finished a single year of...
You were focusing on what you loved. I also did a single year of college, but online classes. Yeah, those got not so fun after a bit.
College, and convinced my parents to let me take a gap year to see where this YouTube thing can take me. Spoiler alert, the gap year turned into me never going back. I'm a college dropout. So great, I've eliminated the boring school part of my life that...
Colleges are a scam anyways. It's like, why waste your money? Go to trade school if you want to learn a trade. They don't make you retake a bunch of crappy math just to learn how to bake.
That weighs me down. Now I can go back to being organized with my new exciting passion job, which entails being my own boss and having to manage and assign myself all of my own responsibilities 24/7.
Yeah.
Why are the voices not getting quieter? It's almost like everything was going backwards. I was having a much harder time staying organized and focused. If I didn't want to do a certain type of work, I would have to shackle myself down in basically an isolation chamber to be able to get it done.
Yeah. I'd like to say that if I had a dishwasher in this house, doing the dishes would be a little bit more tolerable, but that's proposing that I would even bother to do them to begin with. I'm not perfect, guys. I'm sorry. Like, no.
If I found a new interest, it was all I could think about. And why is it so easy to suddenly be on your roof watching a YouTube video on how to know when you need new shingles? I really didn't get it. Child me had it held together more than current me. What went wrong? I could look back and recognize how everything used to be so perfect and easy. Look at tiny Jaden and all her ducks in that row. I used to color code every single binder I owned, and now I don't even know where I placed the 20 bucks I literally just had in my hand 3 minutes ago. I haven't even left the room. Genuinely, where could it f***ing go? Despite feeling like I was downward spiraling for multiple years, I never suspected it could be something related to a genetic neurodevelopmental disorder. I just thought I wasn't trying hard enough and being lazy, or applying myself like I used to. Oh, the woes of turning into an adult, I suppose. Yeah. Maybe the best years of your life truly are in high school. How upsetting. I didn't even enjoy those either. But
I actually kind of did enjoy high school. Like, I don't know how common that is for people to enjoy high school, but I had a lot of good memories with high school. Had good teachers. I had some legit fun teachers. This doesn't help the whole ADHD thing, me going on this slight tangent. But I had a few teachers that stood out. My Spanish teacher used to be a missionary in Colombia, which is where he learned most of his Spanish, and also had a lot of stories to tell from those experiences, and played guitar and had us sing songs in Spanish and all that stuff. One of my science teachers was ex-Army and had his own blast shield for when he did experiments that could cause something to go kaboom. It was a small blast shield, but still it did the trick. I remember him putting something that had an electrical current go through, put it next to a nail that was in a bottle, and then that caused a cork to shoot straight up into the ceiling. That was fun. We built trebuchets with that teacher. He was a cool one. And then another teacher, my English teacher, Mr. Helly was awesome. He played guitar, he played banjo, and I cannot remember the words, the specific category of word that he had us march through the school and chant. Like, we were army marching through the school, and he was wearing camo pants, boots, and a skin-tight shirt. By the way, in his off time, he was also a professional bodybuilder. My English teacher. Oh, I had some cool teachers. So, and there were some good times. And also, that's where my username actually came from, my short time in high school football in my senior year. Lance Corporal Hawk 30, Lance being my name, Corporal being the nickname that one of the coaches gave to me. Hawk was our mascot, and 30 was my jersey number. I've actually got my jersey in the closet, but I'm spending too much time talking on this. I'm going to get back to it.
Then one day I got a text from my brother. I got diagnosed with ADHD. Huh. It was a pretty big surprise for me because growing up, he never really seemed to show any of the typical symptoms you associate with ADHD. You know, people would always describe ADHD to me as super hyper kids who would run around the room and scream and generally be a lot. That wasn't my brother. He was quiet and well behaved like I was. But when he started explaining his symptoms, the gears started turning. Yeah, I've always struggled a lot with focusing in school and having things hold my attention when it's boring. But like, I could hyperfixate on things I'm interested in and get really passionate about that stuff. Hearing him talk about his personal symptoms of ADHD made a lot of sense, and I felt very freshly educated on the topic. And you'd think that I would immediately start looking into getting a diagnosis for myself, because if you were paying attention, my brother's experiences all sounded very similar to the same struggles I've been having in my own life, but related to work.
You had other things on your mind, girl.
But nope, I was just like, good for you, bro. Happy for you. Or, I'm sorry, I don't know. Anyway, back to struggling to simply open up my drawing program as if 2 blocks of iron were welded to my wrist.
On the screen.
Imbalance of brain chemicals? Nah, this just happens from time to time. It's normal. Just the laziness kicking in. I hate Mondays, am I right? Even though I didn't instantly think there was a possibility of me also having ADHD, the mental seed was planted. It's genetic, so I knew subconsciously it ran in the bloodline. It took a few years after my brother was diagnosed for me to really sit down with myself and consider that I, too, could have ADHD. Shocking revelation, I know. Foreshadowing, where did you come from? Things in the focus and...
Yeah, it's I don't know if this happened in the 2000s. I'm going to assume this was like, so this was during the time she was getting popular on YouTube. This had to be like mid-2010s. Mid-2010s, late 2010s, something like that, when she first kind of connected these dots. So this was past the time when I was diagnosed, which in the 90s, for those that don't know, now I'm not super well versed on this topic, but I do know that there were a lot more cases where parents were just wanting their kids to sit down, shut up, and do X, Y, or Z. So a lot of kids they were basically... Kids were being diagnosed and treated for something they might not necessarily have, and given medications for something that might not necessarily help them. So it's just like, kids are hyper beings typically. A kid running around and having fun, you know, that's not indicative of anything necessarily, because children typically do that. But in the 90s, that kind of shifted. Now, I'm not going to say it was the case in all instances. I'm sure there were case-by-case bases where, yeah, this was something that's just the case. So, I said I had ADHD at the beginning of the movie, or movie, at the beginning of the video, but also made sure to specify, at least that's what I've been told. So do I actually have ADHD? I don't know. ADD, maybe, but I even then, I don't know. I just remember hearing that there was like a higher number of people being medicated during that time, of kids being medicated during that time. When a lot of cases, kids will grow out of that young, overhyper age. But again, I'm not a doctor. I can't say. But I do know that the medication I was prescribed messed with my vision.
And productivity department were just getting worse and worse. I had the attention span of a cartoon dog, would completely forget things as soon as they entered my head, would hyperfixate on random stuff like an addict, and there was constant civil war happening inside my head to get one thing done, even though I knew it would only take like 15 minutes. You don't understand. It feels like physical torture to make myself sit down.
Yeah, some of these sound familiar. Disregard what I said about I might not actually have it. This sounds familiar. This sounds very familiar.
And lip sync a simple scene, like most of the time. You know, the thing I've been doing for 10 years at this point and am definitely used to doing. And yeah, once I've gotten going, then I'm honed in and you have to pry me away from it with a crowbar. I'm aware of that part. But nah, I'm still gonna scrap with myself to plant my ass in that chair because I don't even know why at this point. The biggest thing holding me back from feeling like I had ADHD has always been the simple memory of being in school and having my shit together. I know what it feels like to be on top of things and to be organized. I had it all in the palm of my little child hand. I just needed to summon it again with a bit more effort. But a light switched off in my brain and suddenly I'm just not capable of the things I used to be, and it feels pathetic. Simple tasks are such a mental burden.
Hit the report button. Why is this? I can't remember how the meme went. Report function, harassment. Why are you feel this is harassing you? Because I'm in this picture and I don't like it.
Feels like I'm out of control but can't do anything about it. So finally, I figured I would try and get myself diagnosed. What did I have to lose? If anything, they just tell me, no, you don't have ADHD. Try a little harder and stop complaining. And yes, of course it took me like 8 months after deciding to get diagnosed to schedule the actual appointment. What did you expect? That's
me
like
with
the first
dentist
mark box on the ADHD list. I started seeing a psychologist and he would ask the typical, do you have a hard time focusing? And I'd go, yeah, like this one time yesterday, and then he writes something down as I continue rambling on this hyper-specific example way too long for a neurotypical person. I met with him for a few weeks, and then it came down to diagnosis day. The nerves, man. I was so ready for him to say I'm a normal person who needs to suck it up. But instead, he was like, okay, so yeah, you definitely exhibit symptoms of someone with the inattentive type of ADHD. And autism. Yippee! My struggles are just...
You just sneaking out that sneaking that autism under there, don't you? I know my own when I see them. I got a touch of the tism, guys. Asperger's.
Justified. I'm not crazy. Wait, what was that last part? He explained all the different ways ADHD affects me and the different areas I struggle with compared to others. He even gave me a 37-page document of his conclusions and information on how my brain works, with graphs and pictures. I've read through it all a bunch of times now.
Them pictures help. I relate to this. Them pictures and graphs do help a teeny bit, even if you don't always understand them.
And it's already really helped me understand how I tick. I call them the autism docs, but I'm not gonna get into that side of the diagnosis. Let's just brush that one away for now.
No, don't. One of us.
There's a couple types of ADHD you can have: hyperactive, inattentive, and combined. which is both hyperactive and inattentive. Hyperactive is the type people typically go to when they think of a loud kid who can't sit still. People with this kind normally need to fidget, have low patience, tend to talk a lot, and have trouble staying seated, especially when they're expected to, like in a meeting or school. Inattentive is the one where someone experiences difficulty in focus, memory, organization, has a low attention span. That's the one I have. It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, the memory one definitely hits that bullseye right here.
But if you have the combined type of ADHD, then you got it all. ADHD jackpot right there, my friend. I brought up during the appointments that I used to be such a good kid in school with seemingly zero ADHD symptoms, and how that part has always confused me. And he had a couple hypotheses about it. One, since my mom has always been a big source of my organizational influence, I was
okay. Her showing this makes me want to see. Did Jaiden ever do an Undertale video? Because if she didn't, I would love for her to do an Undertale video.
Able to depend and lean on her for the majority of my school life for it. I felt like I was naturally capable of staying on top of things because she was right behind me the whole time, reminding me and guiding me through stuff. So when I moved out, everything started crumbling, which lines up pretty perfectly to when I did start struggling. Another explanation he gave was the fact that ADHD affects women differently than men, which is also less researched. Love to hear that one. Not only do women tend to be able to mask their symptoms better than guys, so it goes much more unnoticed, but they also experience ADHD differently. And research says there's a chance it can just start affecting women later in life. I'm no ADHD scientist though, that's just what I've been told by specialists. I don't.
Pretty much my experience with it, I am not an expert, I just know what I've been told. I was told I have ADHD, I was told I have Asperger's, I have told I got the tism. So, I only know what I've been told.
I don't know, I've just got the dang thing. Either way, those two explanations make a lot of sense to me and have since put my weird ADHD imposter syndrome to rest. I didn't really think that getting a diagnosis would change much about how I go about my life, but since getting my ADHD certificate and lollipop, it's completely revolutionized how I think and go about getting things done. It's still hard to get my ass into gear when I need to do one normal thing that's not difficult, but I'm much less hard on myself and will strike almost like these kinds of mental deals to loophole myself into getting things done. Like, for example, if I really don't want to edit a video, I'll say to myself, okay, I know it's gonna be super hard for me to immediately start that task, so I'll get myself into the mindset of getting things done by doing a simple other task I don't find difficult, like cleaning my room. That way, I'll feel productive and can transition that into tackling the original task much easier. It doesn't always work, but it's the mindset change and overall understanding that sometimes I'm gonna have to go about things in different ways that's helped me a lot. Also, after being diagnosed with ADHD, I didn't have much desire to get medicated. I figured just knowing I have it would be enough to get things into gear. And
like, there are vitamins that I would rather take vitamins than go back to being medicated at this point. Like, if I'm told, oh, you should probably do this, like, no. Literally, the only medication that I have taken in the past, I want to say 2 years, is to get my vitamin D levels back up. Like, they are just, like, drastically low, and it's partly because I'm inside all the time because of what my job is, and then when I'm here at the house, I'm in Georgia. I don't want it to get hot in the house, so the blinds are almost always shut. So, yes, my vitamin D levels are low, so I have to take a special medication for that. That's the only exception. I don't want to take anything that anybody says, oh, this is going to help you up here. No, I don't want to do that. Not after what it caused to these.
And I didn't really need medication that badly. But the content creator in me also thought, well, if I'm gonna write a script about having ADHD, it would be nice to be able to talk about what it's like to be medicated, even just for a day. I got prescribed good old classic instant release Adderall. Instant release means I don't have to take it every day. I can just take it when I need to get stuff done. It affects me immediately and then wears off after a few hours. There's also extended release, which is the kind you take every day and gives you a constant, steady stream of medication.
I think that's the kind of medication I had. Not Adderall. Like I said, I was on Concerta. but something to that effect. I took one at the beginning of every morning before I went to school. And I was made to take it even on my non-school days as well. So...
It wasn't until I had the Adderall in my hands when I realized the idea of taking it for the first time made me nervous. Like, what is this thing gonna do to me? I have so many friends with ADHD. Honestly, a higher ratio than friends without it. That's how it goes in content creation. All these MFs have it. They were all telling me that it's awesome, how you'll take it and immediately feel like a god, and you can do anything and it's incredible. And yeah, that sounds great, but also like, what the hell? What do you mean I take this little pill and suddenly all of my problems seemingly disappear and
cocaine. I shouldn't be laughing at that stupid joke.
I gained superpowers. That's scary. That sounds like the thing every adult in a 20-mile
exactly.
radius warned us about when we were kids. Am I gonna feel like a completely different person? Good. I don't know if I'm ready to experience immortality. I put off taking Adderall for so long because I was irrationally scared of the tiny blue pill, but coincidentally, I really needed to get a script done. If I take too long to write a video script, then the team runs out of work to do, and then I have a bunch of people sitting around and waiting for me to give them more work so they can pay their bills and survive and stuff. But for the freaking life of me, I just could not get myself to sit down and write that script. My body and soul found it mentally easier to backflip off a bridge than write words on the computer. After literally 2 months of my brain going, ooh, you better write that script. I won't let you enjoy a single moment of your life if you aren't writing that script. I don't wanna. Get up, go to the bridge. After that constant loop, I finally swallowed my fears and took my first Adderall. I had talked to James a lot about what Adderall is like since he's been on it for a few years now. And after I took one, I was messaging him like, I did it. I ate an Adderall. How long does it normally take to start? How do I know? What do I do? And he was helping me a lot and giving me tips. Then, like 20 minutes later, I felt it. All the non-stop thoughts going on.
The voices are quiet. Is this Serenity? You know, Mom, maybe it would have been... No. I've got such a negative stigma on medications like this because of the previously mentioned experiences. Knowing that it more than likely was a big factor in why I needed to wear glasses at such a young age, why my vision was as bad as it was. You know? And that having to be something that I'd pay out the ass for to fix in my adult life was not fun. My first ever loan that I took out was to help pay for LASIK operation, so that I wouldn't have to worry about constantly reaching for glasses. So... if someone were to tell me now, you probably should be on this medication, I will every time say, screw that noise. I do not care if it would help me at this point, if it actually would. I do not care. I'm not going to take one. I'm not running the risk of that happening to me again, of ruining these so soon after paying out the ass to have them fixed. If these will last, if my good vision will last until I'm in my 40s at least, okay, that would have been like almost 20 years of use. Better than the first however many years I was nearsighted. I think I started wearing glasses at the age of 8 or 9. But back on topic.
And my brain went silent. I could think clearly. And in like a line, my mind wasn't racing a mile a minute. I was able to sit behind my laptop and write. It was incredible. I was messaging all my friends about it the entire time. I can write my script and not get distracted. I don't have to
Somebody is going to have to tell me what that is supposed to mean right there on screen. That I don't know if that is supposed to be an actual language or if that's just like the random typings. I don't know.
take a mental break every 10 minutes. I can remember things.
It looks
Kelsey
like
sent me a
actual
message,
language.
And I thought, I'll check that in a bit. And I remembered to check in a bit. And respond! When I opened a new tab to look something up, I didn't go down a random unrelated rabbit hole. I picked up my phone to check something and didn't impulsively scroll Twitter for an hour. I can write words so easily. How am I doing this? What do you mean I can feel like this? Impulsively scroll Twitter for an hour.
Hold on, what did those say?
I can write words so easily.
Thought I'll check it in a bit. Oh, it's literally the script she's writing right now.
How am I doing this? What do you mean I can feel like this whenever I want if I just eat the tiny blue pill? I refuse to believe regular people can function like this on a day-to-day basis. No way. It wouldn't be fair. You guys don't have loud, non-stop voices in your heads preventing you from doing normal things? Come on, just admit it. You can't pick something up and immediately keep remembering what you were supposed to be doing with it. You always forget and feel crazy. Come on. Come on. I was so suspicious that on Adderall, either nothing would happen and I just wouldn't feel anything, or I would feel like I'm a totally different person experiencing some higher-than-life manic episode.
Oh,
but no,
jeez.
I just felt like myself, but with my shit together. And that's the part I couldn't believe. After 2 months
more
of
script writing.
war, I finally was able to plant myself down and write my damn script. You wanna know what script I wrote while experiencing Adderall for the first time?
This one.
This one. I was struggling to write a script about ADHD, and the thing that finally pulled it out of me was Adderall. Come on, you gotta admit that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, there is some cosmic humor to that. There is some ironic humor to that one for sure. Not gonna lie.
It was great. I didn't think my head was loud before, or I was that impulsive, or had that hard of a time focusing. But now that I've been able to peacefully sit in one spot for hours and not need to take a break, or check social media, or get distracted by some stupid tangent I don't actually care about, yeah, this changes things. I still can't believe what I was able to accomplish. Writing a script in 3 hours. Compared to my typical 12 hours, aka one mediocre thing with no struggle at all. And you want to know what I did right after I wrote this script? I immediately got up and cleaned the birds' room without rotting in bed for 3 hours beforehand. I just went from one task to another without thinking about it. All you neurotypical people must be thinking I'm literally pathetic and useless, but I know my ADHD brethren are out of their chairs right now hearing that. I'm not standing before you all to give you scientific data and information on ADHD, or diagnose you, or even promote prescribed drugs. I'm just here to talk about—
Not prescribe all the drugs, all the coke. I probably may. She didn't jump, but I'm sure I made her nervous. I'm sorry, Rosie. I'm sorry. Oh, good girl. Oh, good girl. This is probably proving the point that she's been making about, like, the comparative, whatever.
Had a big and recent experience in my life, how much of an impact and effect it's had on me, and how awesome feeling normal is. Seriously, being able to take a deep breath in mental silence is incredible. Cherish that feeling if you don't have a neurodevelopmental disorder. It took me 26 years to realize my woes were not actually woes, but symptoms of brain chemical deficiency. I'm writing this video, all things considered, pretty recently after being diagnosed, and I'm still trying to learn how to rebuild my life in a way that lets me optimize my productivity and get things done at a normal level. But so far, I've come so much further than I thought I could simply by knowing what's going on up there in the old noodle. And Adderall. If you're on the fence about being diagnosed with something, I get it. It's scary. It's scary to think you might have it, and it's also scary to think you might not have it. It's an odd place to be. But for me, having a concrete answer from a professional is what got me to finally stop feeling stuck in place and actually start moving forward again. It's been great. I'm excited to keep learning more things about how my mind works and find new ways to improve my day-to-day life. Cheers to getting normal shit done.
In case you missed it, I have new merch! For a limited time, you can get yourself a new and improved Ari plush and a completely new soft Ari jacket. I love both of these products, and up until June 23rd, they could be all yours! If you miss it, you'll never know how fluffy and pillowy the jacket is. Oh, it's like a cloud. Or how cuddly and friend-shaped the plush is.
I would sooner get the plush than the jacket for one reason. I'm in South Georgia. It get hot down here. And I grew up in Alaska. I'm already used to the cool. So even in the wintertime, I'm not wearing... Even in the wintertime down here, I am nowhere near as close to putting on a jacket as my coworkers are. It is the start of June at the time of recording, and I have coworkers that are still putting on jackets. For context, the room in which some of my coworkers and I work is set to 70 degrees, which apparently is cool for them, and I'm thinking, 70 degrees is just about perfect. It's so close to perfect. Why are you needing... okay, man.
Plus, it's a great way to support both me and the team while we continue to make animations for you. Check them out at JAIDENAnimations.com. Thanks for watching the video, and good luck simply existing to all my ADHD brethren out there. I'm right there with ya. I believe one day you'll respond to that message in your inbox. Hang in there.
Yeah. If I ever open the inbox. So, yeah, I feel called out. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's just, and much like the last Jaiden video, I have easily doubled the length of this one, probably for the content within like the relating to ADHD. Rosie, come. Rosie. I won't bother her. She being a good girl. You being a good girl? You being a good girl. She's a good girl. But anyways. Yeah, I other than what I have already said, I don't have much more to say. So I'm just gonna kinda leave it here. There's not much more I can add to it other than what I already said earlier and what she already said in her video and my own experiences with medication that were supposed to help my ADHD, which maybe it did. Maybe that helped me in some cases, but it just, I can't get over what it did to my eyes. I can't get over that. So, more than likely, I will not be getting back on medication to help with that whole ADHD, even though there are certainly things that I should be better at. My procrastination is one such example. I am horrible at not procrastinating. I'm horrible at remembering little simple things. And I'm horrible at keeping myself organized anymore. Like, you can see that shelf over there is not, well, maybe you can't see all the specifics, but here on the dresser back there, it needs a little bit of organization. There's a desk over here that needs organization. Only reason I'm not at the desk is because I'm just using my TV as a monitor. But yeah, and good for Jaiden. She found out that she had something, and that, excuse me, and that she had a little magic blue pill that thankfully did something up here and not down there. Yes, I made a stupid Viagra joke. Sue me. Don't actually sue me. I can't afford it. But anyways, I'm glad that she was able to get that kind of help, and that is able to help her focus the way that she needs, and that she is thankful for that. I am glad of that. I hope she'll be careful with it, because some of those medications do cause side effects. You know, like Concerta messed up my eyes. I don't know what kind of side effects Adderall may have, but yeah. So hopefully everything works out for her, and you know, good on you for having the help to figure it out, Jaiden. And yeah, it definitely is very cosmically funny that the Adderall is what helped her write the script for this video. That actually is funny. But anyways, I need to go ahead and wrap this up because I don't have much more I don't really have any more to add. I could probably go on a tangent, but the video's long enough. It is rare that I will actually talk this much. I'm going to stop there before I just keep going on tangents. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like if you enjoyed. Comment what your favorite part of the video was and what your experiences with being diagnosed with something with Vitism or the AD or Adderall's ADHD, yada, any of that mental stuff. Asperger's for me, like I said. Subscribe if you're new, and tap the bell to get notified whenever I upload videos so you don't miss any reactions, gameplay, or otherwise from me. Also, go check out my Discord. Link is in the description. Come join. We will talk, post memes, songs, videos, artwork. You can self-promote your own stuff and just have some fun. This has been Lance Corporal Hawk 30. Squirrel!